Good evening, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Intraday Trading. My name is Robin, and let's do a Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis for tomorrow. So, since this is the start of the week, we'll also discuss what's going on a higher time frame also. So, firstly, let's look at the higher time frame. So, this is Nifty Bank. We saw Nifty Bank, coming. So, trading within this channel, coming to the half of this point, consolidating, and then coming back uh, again on the higher side, but we were expecting it to reach up to this level and then reverse. However, Friday's gap up initiated a strong sell off, and we saw market coming down heavily. So now what should be the plan? So is it still going to test the high, or is it going to fall down, is something which we'll check out for based on the levels. And similarly, if we look at Nifty, it is also definitely following this channel, and it took support here, came back on the higher side, but before testing this level, which was around 16,900, it initiated a strong sell-off at around 16,800 and then came down heavily. So this is on the overall trend. So there is a possibility that we may give a small dip and then continue higher, or break this particular swing and come lower also. So we'll check out the data as to what FIs and pros have done on Friday and decide how should we plan a day tomorrow. So SGX Nifty is already trading more than 100 points lower, so that means gap down opening can be expected, but if anything changes in the morning is something which we'll have to look for. So first things first, let's check our participant wise open interest. So this is a participant wise open interest, and I don't know how many of you follow the future open interest, but in the last 15-20 minutes, if you noticed on Friday, there was a lot of future short booking that was happening, and that was clear idea that it was FIIs who were booking their future shorts which they had created last week. So if you see here, they have closed some more long positions. So future long has been closed, but short has been closed more than the longs. Okay, so this is something uh, like they are definitely booking profits in their shorts. And if you look at this figure, uh, stock future, they have booked a lot of shorts in stock futures also, so that is again surprising. So at lower levels they are booking all the shorts. So whether they are going to add a fresh short, or is it that they are planning to take the market a little upside, is something which we'll have to watch out for. And secondly, how do we understand that? We need to see that they add future longs. So right now we do not see any addition of future longs, but we can definitely see that they are exiting the future shorts. Similarly, if you look at the options, not a convincing position on the call side, but definitely they are long on the put side, and that too the quantity is great. Okay, so we were the entire last week we were seeing the quantity of 25,000, 24,000, 10,000, 12,000, 13,000, something like that, and not a really big number. But if you remember on the Telegram channel, I had mentioned that it looks like FIs have taken some good strong positions even for the weekend, and this is that. So they have taken good quantity of put longs expecting a gap down opening. And if you look at pros, they are heavily short on calls. So tomorrow if Bank Nifty or Nifty opens gap down, so both of them are going to see a good profit. So definitely FIs will book profits because they are long in puts rather short on calls. So long put means people who are long in the options always try to book their profits to avoid the premium decay that happens during the day, or you know uh, or maybe the theta decay which happens after the closing hour of tomorrow. So definitely they are going to book these positions, and we may see some uh, a little upside movement or maybe sideways, but this call short is definitely going to uh, give some trouble on the higher side. But the market, if it doesn't open flat, then that is going to be a trouble for us, like buyers especially, because we will not see that kind of a momentum. So overall the data suggests that uh, FIIs are long in puts and pros are short on calls, which means that it's a bearish or strong bearish sentiment. Uh, However, uh, tomorrow's gap down opening may change this, because they need to book their profits and we may see some sideways kind of a market. So this is all about the participant wise open interest, and overall the position is still on the short side. If you see, there is a difference of 26,200. So initially it became positive on 30th of May and 31st of May, and slowly steadily it started becoming negative once again. Okay, so this is all about our participant wise open interest. We'll just have a look at the option chain also once, just to see uh, what's happening here. So in the option chain, if you see, the OIPCR is trading around 0.56 for Bank Nifty, so which is extremely bearish, and 0.45 to 0.5. So this is a reversal area. Okay, so keep that in mind. I always tell this on my videos whenever I see this figure. So reversal area, or you can say that at least the further fall can take a halt. And similarly Nifty is at 0.74 and it has still room to go to 0.5. Okay, so while it is going to 0.5, Bank Nifty may start consolidating, or it may start trading a little higher, supporting Nifty. So this is how they manage the index, right? So you will not see both sides same figures most of the time, but these figures may change, or usually it is different. Either Bank Nifty, so OIPCR will be a little stronger than Nifty, or vice versa. So in this case, OIPCR is weaker in Bank Nifty and a bit stronger in Nifty. But tomorrow, I think they'll definitely take a halt if market opens with a huge gap down. And if you look at the overall addition of the call shorts or put shorts, so 36,000 has the most number of call short addition, and that was because we saw that market took a resistance around 35,900, 950, and definitely it was a beautiful place for people to short the call options. On the same day, the premium got eroded by 134 rupees. So tomorrow's gap down will bring this premium less than 100, and we still have like 5 days to go for the expiry, rather 4 days to go for expiry. So definitely we'll see some profit booking happening in this premium, because it would have been fallen too much. And similarly 16,800 is a strong resistance if you look at the option chain. And on the lower side, we can see people exiting their positions, which is long unwinding. So exiting your positions on the ITM calls means you can expect you can expect people to book their positions, and they may expect that the market may come down a little more. So this is what we can see at the option chain. So all that we have to look for tomorrow is to see if this OIPCR value is changing. So if it stays in a constant position for a while, like 0.4647, and you start see it increasing, then it may slow and steadily increase if we open gap down. Now let's come back to the charts and discuss quickly like what are the levels that we can expect. So this is what happened on Friday. It opened exactly at a resistance that I had marked, and the first bounce was at this particular trend line, but this was just a minor support, so we could have expected a small bounce and then further break of it, and finally it filled the gap also, which was pending for some time. So we'll remove this trend line, and all that we have is these levels. Okay, so 35,438 is kind of a trigger level. Like above this, if Bank Nifty opens, then again it is going to be sideways, or it is going to be in a safer zone. So that's why I'm keeping this level. Okay, so 35,200 is an important level again. After filling the gap, it bounced, which means after filling this particular gap, FIs booked their future shorts, is what we can see, and they might have booked their future long somewhere in the opening of the market. So now we'll plan the entries for tomorrow. So first things first, we'll just write down FIs and pros both have bearish positions. So bearish position means the selling side will always be a little strong. Okay, so we'll look for trade that happens on the downside. So tomorrow if we open somewhere within this level, okay, and we break 35,200, so this level is definitely a bearish zone now. So that, what is that level? 35,200 to 35,400. So in case if you see Bank Nifty opening with a slight gap up by any chance around 35,400, you can still take a short position here. Okay, and we can wait for it to break this particular low and fall down further, and we can book at 35,000. Why are we doing this? Because they have put longs and call shorts, so obviously they had it because they were expecting more downside movement. That is the reason they have taken that position, or they have carried forward their position. So we'll see some more downfall. So in case if we get an opening here, definitely we are going to take a put, and if we open somewhere around 35,300, we'll wait for 35,200 to break, and we'll buy a put here. Again, the target will be 35,000. An important support lies around 34,700 to 800. Okay, why it's an important support, let me just show you all. So a lot of time we have taken a resistance at this place, and finally Bank Nifty gave a breakout and moved around 1,300 points from here. So definitely we can expect a reaction at least here. So at this place, we'll definitely not hold any put. Whether we can buy a call is something which we can trade during the live market based on price action. Okay, so what are we going to do? In case of opening around 35,400, we are going to buy a put. In case if we open at 35,300, we'll wait for it to break. Okay, break 35,200, we'll buy a put, and for both the case, the target is 35,000. The second target can be 34,800, but that can be possible only if we open flat. Okay, if it's a huge gap down, say below 35,000, then it may suddenly go and test this and start trading higher. So where are we going to buy a put is something which we already discussed. And so flat opening is done and slight gap up opening is done. Gap up opening above 35,420 or 430, then the market may take a halt here. Then we'll decide whether it's breaking the range on the upside or it is breaking the range on the downside. Based on that, we'll take a position. And in case of a movement downside, say it's opening with a gap down at 35,000, there is nothing much we can do because it's a round number. Definitely it can take support, or maybe suddenly if it gives a dip of 200 points, we'll not be able to really catch it, and we'll immediately start seeing profit booking. So now since 35,000 is close by and an important support at 35,700, 800 is close by, what can happen is it becomes easier for us to go and buy the call. That means people who have sold calls, we can actually buy it from them, expecting it to move up, and even they'll get a chance to sell their calls to us. Similarly, the put that FIs are long, you get an opportunity to sell those puts for some sort of a retracement. So that can happen tomorrow. So definitely it is a chance for them to book their profits and chance for us to take fresh positions. So this is always, you have to think like this. So if a gap down opening, definitely we'll wait for it to like bottom out. So when I say bottom out, uh, we'll start seeing slowly and steadily building a small price action on the upside, or if it is consolidating and going upside, we are going to take a small trade, but all the long trades will be with the less quantity, because the selling pressure will definitely be there. Because what we retailers do is we always try to sell when the selling climax is almost about to complete. So because of that, we'll always see some selling pressure. So another point is, if we open say around above 35,000 and you see a small rise which goes here, so now this place 35,200 and 300 is a strong, this can behave like a strong resistance because we took support here most of the times. So if anything happens like this, definitely we'll buy a put here, and the first target will be 35,000, and then we may also see 34,800 also. So this is the second place where we'll buy put. So I'm just writing it down. Opening above 35,000, retracement. So when I say 35,000, let's say 35,100. Okay, retracement up to 35,200 to 300, and then we are going to buy a put here for a target of 35,000 and 34,800. So any gap down opening or at 35,000 or like around 34,900 or something, we are definitely not going to touch put at that moment, because there would be a lot of confusions. Like people are in profit, some are in loss, and people are ready to buy call because it's at important support. So a lot of confusions may happen. So during that time, we'll just wait and watch for some time to understand what kind of price action is being built, and then take a position accordingly. So those things I may like put it on Telegram channel during the live market. Okay, so this is how the bank Nifty is going to perform tomorrow. And let's quickly look at Nifty. So waiting for my lines to come. So Nifty's price action is definitely a little bullish than bank Nifty at the moment. Yeah, so Nifty is currently here, so we'll mark this. Okay, so on the upside is 16,600. So in case if Nifty opens at 16,600, we are definitely buying a put, and our first target is going to be 16,500. Okay, so a closing below 16,520 actually opens room further until 16,400, also 400 or 16,360. Okay, so flat opening, we are definitely buying a put, and flat opening or an opening around 16,600. Okay, where we should not go short is above 16,640. If Nifty is opening, will not buy put immediately, but we'll definitely get an exit window for FIIs. So we'll see that if it again crosses below 16,600 is when we'll enter put. Okay, and let's see what if they open gap down. So say if they're opening gap down within this previous swing, so we may immediately start seeing profit booking. Okay, so the last swing is around 16,450. So 450 to around 600. It's a 150 point movement. So after moving 150 point up, we cannot immediately expect it to come down fast and break this, because 150 points is good for Nifty. So we'll not expect or we'll not just go and blindly buy put. You can definitely buy put, but for smaller targets like this one, a small scalping like 70-80 points, maybe you can think of it to come and test the day low once again. So like that you can plan. And only gap up opening above 16,650 is going to make Nifty again bullish, because no stop losses will be hit for the people who are maintaining a SL here. And gap up opening we discussed, will not buy any put immediately until and unless it comes back to this particular zone. Okay, and gap down, we have an important support at 16,350, and it's also a gap filling area, so definitely we'll see a strong reaction here. So just in case if you see Nifty at this point, by any chance, we'll wait for some small price action and we'll try to buy a call, but I will definitely prefer selling put options. So selling put is more recommended because it may get a lot of pressure on the upside, and it may create a lot of confusion. So whenever the market goes up, you know that it makes really our life difficult. So this is how we plan Nifty and Bank Nifty trades for tomorrow. I hope you understood things. Let's meet tomorrow, and we'll also come up with our algo video. Thank you for watching. Let's see you tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye.